Do you know how fragile trust really is? It's like a delicate glass figurine, beautiful, intricate, but one wrong move, and it shatters into 1,000 irreparable shards. And once it's broken, there's no putting it back together. But you see, here's the joke. They didn't just break your trust. They thought they broke you. And oh, how wrong they were. Because the thing about shattered glass, when the pieces are sharp enough, they cut deep. They laugh, they celebrate, they think they've won, leaving you bleeding on the floor. But you're not just sitting there, are you? No, you're watching, calculating, waiting. Because the thing about chaos, the thing they'll never understand, is that it doesn't destroy everything. It leaves room for something new to grow, something darker, something stronger. Do you feel it yet? That gnawing pit in your stomach, that fire licking at the edges of your mind. That's the feeling of transformation. And transformation, my friend, is a dangerous thing. It's the rebirth of something they never prepared for. A version of you that doesn't just survive their betrayal, but thrives because of it. And oh, they'll regret underestimating you. Trust. Such a funny word, isn't it? A word that people toss around like confetti at a wedding, only to sweep it up and throw it away when the party's over. They used your trust as a weapon, didn't they? Twisted it, turned it, and plunged it right into your back. But here's the punchline. They forgot that every stab, every wound is a lesson. And you're a fast learner. They think they've silenced you, that their betrayal has left you mute, paralyzed, defeated. But silence? Oh, silence is the most powerful scream there is. It's the space where plans are born, where pain morphs into purpose. And while they're basking in their shallow victory, you're plotting your masterpiece. A success so loud, it drowns out their laughter. Picture this, a world where their peace is haunted by the mere mention of your name. Not because you've done anything to them directly. No, that would be too easy, too predictable. The true art lies in making your success the sharpest knife they've ever felt. Each accomplishment, each step forward, becomes a blade that cuts deeper than any words ever could. You see, they thought they were clever, thought their betrayal was the end of the story. But oh, how deliciously ironic it is that they've only written the prologue. The real story begins now. And it's not one of petty revenge or childish payback. No, this is a story of elevation, of turning every ounce of their malice into fuel for a fire they can't extinguish. What is it about betrayal that makes it so poetic? Maybe it's the way it strips away the illusions, exposing the raw, ugly truths we'd rather not see. Or maybe it's the way it forces us to confront our own shadows, to embrace the parts of ourselves we'd kept hidden. Because let's face it, betrayal isn't just about them. It's about you, about the cracks in your armor, the blind spots in your vision. And once you see those cracks, you can't unsee them. But here's the twist. Those cracks don't weaken you. They make you human. And humanity, when wielded correctly, is the most terrifying weapon of all. Do you know what's truly terrifying to them? It's not your anger, not your sadness. It's your smile. That quiet, knowing smile that says, I've already won. Because while they're still stuck in their petty games, you're playing a much bigger one. And the rules, they don't even know the rules. Trust is a funny thing, isn't it? So fragile, so easy to break. But here's the joke. When they broke your trust, they also set you free. free from illusions, free from the chains of their expectations, free to become something far beyond their comprehension. And that's what they'll never understand. They thought they destroyed you, but all they did was remove the mask. Let's talk about masks, shall we? We all wear them. The mask of the loyal friend, the trusting partner, the forgiving soul. But when betrayal rips that mask away, what's left? The raw, unfiltered truth. And truth, as they say, is a double-edged sword. Because while it cuts you, it also cuts them. The difference? You've learned how to wield it. Imagine this. Every step you take, every success you achieve, is like a ripple in a still pond. And those ripples, they reach places you can't even see. They disturb the waters of their carefully constructed peace, sending waves of unease crashing into their world. They thought they'd broken you, but now they're the ones who can't sleep at night. Funny, isn't it? But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Success isn't about them. It's about you, about proving to yourself that you're more than the sum of their betrayal, about reclaiming your story, your power, your identity. Because the truth is, they only hold as much power over you as you allow. And when you take that power back, oh, the things you can do. Success isn't just a destination, it's a weapon. A quiet, relentless force that chips away at their illusions, their pride, their peace. It's the kind of vengeance that doesn't need words, doesn't need confrontation. It's the kind that lingers in the air, that seeps into their thoughts, that makes them question everything they thought they knew. And the best part? They can't escape it. Do you know what's coming next? The storm. Not the loud, chaotic kind that destroys everything in its path, but the quiet, calculated storm that rebuilds. Because that's what you're doing, isn't it? Rebuilding. Not just yourself, but a life so extraordinary, so untouchable, that their betrayal becomes nothing more than a footnote in your story. A story that doesn't just end in triumph, but begins and ends on your terms. They thought they could control the narrative, but the narrative is yours now. And as you write each chapter, remember this. Every word, every action, every success is a reminder of what they tried and failed to do. They destroyed your trust, but they couldn't destroy you. And in the end, that's all that matters. The beauty of betrayal is how it exposes the gaps in their armor. While they think they've silenced you, you've learned to speak a new language, one written in results, in achievements, in the kind of success that shakes the foundation of their shallow peace. They expected you to fade, but instead, you've become a storm, unrelenting and impossible to ignore. So let them watch, let them wonder, let them wrestle with the reality that their betrayal was the spark that ignited something unstoppable. Because while they were busy celebrating your downfall, you were busy plotting your rise. And now you're ready to show them what real power looks like. But this isn't the end, is it? No, the story's just beginning. And the best part? They don't even see it coming. Let's explore their minds for a moment. Oh, how they sit there, basking in their temporary relief, thinking the storm has passed. But storms, they don't announce their arrival, do they? They build silently, gathering strength, ready to unleash fury when least expected. And that's you, a silent tempest, gathering force in every quiet moment, in every deep breath you take, in every step forward. And their peace? It's not really peace. It's the thin, fragile illusion of calm that masks their growing fear. They may not admit it, but they sense it. that something is changing, that you're not the same person they betrayed, that behind your eyes lies a determination sharper than the knives they used against you. They won't say it out loud, but in their quiet moments, they'll wonder. And that wondering, that's the first crack in their armor. You see, the beauty of success isn't in its loudness. It's in its inevitability, like a rising tide, slow and steady, but unstoppable. They can't escape the ripples, can't outrun the waves. Each milestone you achieve sends tremors through their world, forcing them to confront the one thing they fear most. The realization that their betrayal didn't break you. It forged you. So keep going, not for them, but for you. Because every step you take, every victory you claim, is a testament to your resilience, your strength, your power. And as they sit in the ruins of their false peace, watching you rise higher and higher, they'll come to understand one undeniable truth. They destroyed your trust, but in doing so, they unleashed something they could never control. And that, my friend, is the ultimate punchline. The chessboard has shifted, hasn't it? They thought they were the grandmasters, pushing you into checkmate with their calculated betrayal. But little did they know, you weren't playing their game. You were learning the rules, not to follow them, but to rewrite them entirely. The pawn they underestimated, that's the one that becomes the queen. Unstoppable, unrelenting, and oh, how poetic it will be when their own moves come back to haunt them. Success, after all, isn't loud. It doesn't need to be. It's not in the fireworks or the applause. It's in the quiet, consistent building. Brick by brick, step by step, while they're still dancing around their temporary triumphs, you're constructing something monumental. Something they can't comprehend, let alone destroy. But let's not lie to ourselves. The scars are real, aren't they? Each one tells a story, a moment where their betrayal tried to define you. Yet scars don't symbolize weakness. They're proof of survival. Proof that you've walked through fire and come out tempered, stronger, sharper. They're badges of honor, reminders that while they may have struck, they never truly hit the heart of who you are. And that's what terrifies them, isn't it? The realization that you're still standing, still breathing, still moving forward with a purpose they can't fathom. It's not revenge that drives you. No, that would be too simple, too small. It's transformation, becoming a version of yourself that makes their betrayal laughable in hindsight. They'll see your success, but they won't see the nights you spent staring into the void, questioning, doubting, rebuilding. And that's the real triumph. Picture this. The day will come when they see your name in lights, your story told, your impact undeniable. And in that moment, they'll remember the role they played, not as the heroes they imagined, but as the catalysts for your ascent. They thought they were writing your ending, but all they did was provide the ink for your next chapter. Their peace is an illusion now, a fragile house of cards, trembling with every whisper of your name. They won't admit it, of course. They'll wear their masks of indifference, pretending your success doesn't affect them. But behind closed doors, in the quiet moments, it'll gnaw at them. The what-ifs, the could-have-beens. Every decision they made to undermine you will replay in their minds, not as victories, but as the seeds of their undoing. And here's the best part. You won't even have to lift a finger. Your success is the weapon, and it cuts deeper than any words or actions ever could. It's in the way you rise above, refusing to stoop to their level. In the way you walk past them, not with anger, but with indifference, a silent reminder that they no longer hold any power over you. Because that's the secret, isn't it? Power doesn't come from holding others down. It comes from lifting yourself up, from turning every setback into a stepping stone. They destroyed your trust, but in doing so, they freed you from illusions, from the constraints of their expectations, from the need for their approval. And now, you're unstoppable. Let's talk about storms. They thought the storm was your pain, your anger, your heartbreak. But the real storm, it's your growth, your resilience, your transformation. It's the way you've turned every ounce of their betrayal into fuel, every tear into a stepping stone. And now, that storm is rolling toward them, not with thunder and lightning, but with the quiet, unrelenting force of your success. Imagine their faces when they realize it, when the truth dawns on them like a cold, unyielding sunrise. They didn't break you, they built you. Every jab, every wound, every lie was a lesson, a spark, a push toward becoming someone they can never touch. And as they sit in the shadows of their choices, watching you shine, they'll feel it, the weight of their own irrelevance. But this isn't about them, is it? It never was. It's about you, about reclaiming your narrative, your power, your identity, about proving to yourself that you're not defined by their actions, but by your own. And as you rise, as you soar, remember this. Their betrayal was never a reflection of your worth. It was a reflection of their own limitations. So keep building, keep rising, keep turning every scar into a masterpiece, every setback into a springboard. Because the best revenge isn't revenge at all. It's living a life so extraordinary, so untouchable, that their betrayal becomes a mere footnote in your story. And as they watch you from the sidelines, unable to reach, unable to comprehend, they'll realize the ultimate truth. They destroyed your trust, but in doing so, they unleashed something they could never control. Now let's leave them with this, an image they'll carry forever. You, standing tall, unbroken, with a quiet smile that speaks volumes. A smile that says thank you, not for the pain, not for the betrayal, but for the opportunity to become who you are now. Because in the end, they didn't destroy you. They gave you the tools to build something they'll never have. Peace. And that peace, it's yours now. Completely, utterly, undeniably yours. They destroyed your trust, yes, but they'll spend the rest of their lives trying to find the peace you've already won.